Welcome to Psych 386, Group Psychological Processes. Study Session 1. Introduction to Group Psychological Process. In this study session, we will examine processes in groups where interaction among members is more direct and meaningful. This study session also introduces you to the basis for group formation and the major characteristics of groups. Learning outcomes. When you have studied this session, you should be able to define and use correctly the term group and discuss at least 2 assumptions for the basis of group formation. The meaning of group. A group consists of 2 or more people who interact and are interdependent in the sense that their needs and goals cause them to influence each other. According to Cartwright and Zander, 1968, Loring, 1948. Groups are people who have assembled for some common purpose, e.g., citizens meeting to solve a community problem, family, campus groups, community groups, e.g., churches or mosques, sport team, and more temporary groups, such as your classmates. All these count as group because you interact with other members and you are interdependent. That is, you influence them and they influence you. Groups come in all shapes and sizes, large and small, highly organized and quite informal, short-term and long-lasting. Sometimes, group membership is involuntary, e.g., you didn't choose your family. But membership of most groups is voluntary. Why join a group? Forming relationships with other people fulfills a number of basic human needs. There may be an innate need to belong to groups. Some researchers argue that in our evolutionary past, there was a substantial survival advantage to establishing bonds with other people. People who bonded together were better able to hunt for and grow food, find mates, and care for children. As a result, researchers proposed that the need to belong has become innate and is present in all societies. People in all cultures are motivated to form relationships with other people and to resist the dissolution of these relationships. Groups have a number of benefits. Other people can be an important source of information, helping us to resolve ambiguity about the nature of the social world. Groups become an important part of our identity, helping us define who we are. This is evident in the way people wear shirts with the name of their groups emblazoned on it. Groups also help to establish social norms, the explicit or implicit rules defining what is acceptable behavior. Assumptions for the basis for group formation. 2 main assumptions for the basis for group formation have been put forward. These are 1. Functional, such as joint action on a task, face-to-face interaction, or mutually dependent relationships. And 2. Psychological, the perception of a shared identity, attempt to fulfill needs for affiliation, recognition, and self-assertion. In other words, groups provide individuals with opportunities to fulfill fundamental human needs. While many of the needs groups fulfill are conscious, some writers have expressed the role of unconscious processes in providing the basic psychological context for groups. Group processes indicate how structures become established and how over time they may change. There are several reasons for joining groups. At a fundamental level, People may have an innate need to belong to groups, stemming from evolutionary pressures that increase people's chances of survival and reproduction when in groups rather than in isolation. This need may also be driven by the desire to feel protected against threats and uncertainty in everyday life. Further, people join specific groups in order to accomplish things that they cannot accomplish as individuals. People also join groups because of the social status and identity they offer. People may also join groups because they like the members and want to have the opportunity to interact with them. Summary. In this study session, we examined the meaning of group. We also explained why people join groups. Finally, we presented assumptions for the basis of group formation. We noted that the basis for group formation can be functional or psychological. End of study session 1. Thank you for listening.